ghost stories. And the way we do Beat the Ghost has to be the same thing. Like, if we all had to hold hands in a circle and recite a chant, that couldn't be changed, but the chant could. So like, instead of some, we could say like, Katabe, Katabe, kick the bucket, Katabe, Katabe, you can suck it, you know, like, that's, and we did that with the entire show. And the funny thing is, when we first did it, Monica and I actually premiered it at Otakon for like a really big audience, and we got booed. Like, they're booed when we were on stage, and we laughed, because when people hate something we're in, they don't realize it's too late. It's already recorded, so your chatter in the background doesn't change the show at all. So Monica and I were just kind of laughing about it. But as much as it was hated, it got this cult audience. And that year, we beat Full Metal Alchemist for Dub of the Year. And I'm like, ha 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 ha, take that, Ed. So it was a funny show. The funny thing about it is we all wrote the show as we went along. So the person that came up with the Christian Slater joke, we basically started with this joke about, oh, remember when Christian Slater had a career? And that was a joke that never ended. It went the rest of the show. If I ever turn up dead somewhere, it's because Christian Slater probably found me and killed me. But there were actually some jokes that went too far, that like we were like, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that. But it was a fun show. I still think that we should redub it every 5 years, because it would still be funny. Because like, when we first did Ghost Stories, we didn't have Sarah Palin, Lady Gaga, Lindsay Lohan. I played a little Jewish kid. Mel Gibson is mine. If we redub it, I'm getting Mel Gibson in this show. So it's just one of those things that I think we could redo it every so many years and it would never stop being funny, because it's such a fun project to do that with. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for asking about that. It's so funny. Yeah. What's my favorite accent? Oh man, I'm gonna get crucified for this. I can't do it, but I can listen to it for no end of eternity, and it's a Geordie accent. My favorite comedian is Sarah Milligan, and I could listen to her talk. I could just go to sleep and listen to her talk. I think she's the most sweet accent on this earth. I couldn't do it, and every time I've tried, it's like sounds horrible, so I won't do it, but like, I love her accent. But she doesn't, like she has it, she said like everything, but maybe that's just her, because she's just a little sweet person. And then the other accent I think is really fascinating. My friend's mother is from Venezuela, and she has a really neat accent that I can't pinpoint. I'm like, it sounds a little bit like this, it's also a little bit like this, so the hardest for me to be around is a Canadian accent, because one of my best friends growing up was Canadian, and what? Is Canada upset, or was that America got upset? Don't be upset, Canada. But when I'm in Canada, like I do a lot of conventions in Canada, by the end of the weekend, I sound like I'm from Canada. So I have to be careful when I go there not to adapt my, yes? That's a really hard question to answer. I think it's amazing that Stephen Foster was able to get him to say some of the things that he got him to say. And I'll just leave it there. I'll just be politically correct for once in my life and just leave it there. But the thing is, no one was safe in that show. You can say that, you know, like at the end of the show they were saying Hillary was pregnant with Vic's kid, but I get made fun of, Chris Patton gets made fun of, Monica gets made fun of, one of our directors gets made fun of. There's a scene where they're climbing up a ladder and you can see Hillary's character's dress, and she goes, "Stop looking at my skirt, I'm just a cartoon." David Williams, and that's the name of one of the directors who has like all the dirty pair figures in his office. So there was no one safe in that show. We all got zapped and zinged every time we turned around, and we usually weren't told about a joke, so we would only see it when we watched the final product. So I don't know if Vic actually knows some of the jokes that were made about him, because like the joke about Chris Patton and I, we didn't hear it until the disc came out. And I was like, oh, good one, like we thought it was funny, but like there are some people that there were jokes made that they didn't think it was funny, so I don't know. In the spirit of that show, you can't take anything said seriously, you just have to roll with it and enjoy it. Yes? that's a great question, actually. She said, what would I think constitutes a bad dub? I can say that because I've worked on one. To me, anytime, there's two things that can make a bad dub. Obviously the actors have to be quality actors, but I don't think that's really an issue anymore because there are a lot of really gifted people that work in this industry. I think what makes a bad dub now is a combination of rotten translation, which happens a lot. It doesn't happen as often as it used to, but it does happen a lot. And the other is when you have people working on a project that don't care about it. And that's like, I was talking to someone earlier, I said, if you ever want to be disillusioned in your life, become a part of something you were a fan of, and you'll see that like everything that you thought was magic is not necessarily what you thought. As an actor, I thought everybody loved every show they worked on. And even when I work on a show that I don't particularly like, I probably shouldn't say what show, but like there's a show that a lot of people know that I've never watched, and I was in it, and I'm just not really into it. But I still liked my character, and I still had a good time, and I didn't walk in going, ugh, this show. Like, I came into work every day, ready to have a good time and make weird sounds, and are we at time? Okay, I'll finish this, and then what's next? So I can... Oh, Kemi's next. Was she already down here? She was just... She's on her way now. Okay. Y'all have to stick around for a Kemi's panel. Working on shows where the people working on them don't care about them kind of takes the fun out of it. And it's also really hard as an actor to be excited when a director is like, oh, this show's, you know, junk or whatever. But I think an inaccurate translation and bad planning and bad thought. Before I go, I definitely want to tell y'all one thing. On the program, it says I will be DJing tonight. And I do DJ, and I was going to DJ tonight, and I have my headphones and I have my CDs, but the gear I was supposed to work on is not here. But what I did, as a safety anyway, anytime I'm going to be working on gear that is not mine, I pre-record a show just in case, and luckily I prepared a show for you guys. So even though I will not be DJing live, I prepared an hour of like super nerdy, I'm just gonna say it's nerdy and really fun music. There is a version of Bohemian Rhapsody that will either make you laugh or cry. But please come around because after I start it, I'm gonna just get in the audience and dance with everybody, and so we'll just dance to Zelda and whatnot. So I see Kemi is here, and everybody stick around for her panel. Which panel is this now? I don't know. Oh wait. Oh, this is the kimono panel. So y'all stick around for this. Thank you guys. I'm gonna be here all weekend, so don't be strangers. Do you want your wings back? Did you want your wings back? Oh, thank you. This is my jelly baby. I'm gonna go backstage and eat my jelly baby now. All right, thank you guys. I will see y'all later tonight. All right, y'all stick around for this.